one of the biggest factors affecting school culture and climate is levels of openness and trust. When teachers don't trust each other and aren't open with each other, they don't learn from each other. If they don't trust their administration, they're guarding their back, they're not fully motivated. How to improve levels of openness and trust, all kinds of ideas are laid out in this, that I've laid out for them in the two books. And I'm not trying to push the two books. I don't make any money out of those, but they are available on Amazon.com. Now, the other factor that is a major, major factor in school culture and climate is school discipline. When you walk into a classroom and you see a teacher who's having difficulty controlling student misbehavior, and you see that in classroom after classroom throughout a school, you know that school has a poor culture and climate. And the teachers are stressed out at the end of the day and at the end of the week. They want to go home. And on Monday, they don't want to come back. So how do you improve student discipline? And it's very simple in a way. And I'm interested in your opinion on this, Lynn. You were a teacher for 11 years, right?
I taught preschool for 11 years. Yes, I did.
Okay. Well, preschool, you probably didn't have that much of a discipline problem, but you've talked to your coworkers about discipline.
You would be surprised. You would be surprised. I'm laughing at that because we had a bully in my preschool classroom that the kids were afraid of. And this was in preschool. And I can't imagine when kids get to first grade because of his size and of the bully tendencies. And we also had a kid with physical disabilities. So you would be surprised what I had, the academic challenges I had in the preschool classroom.
Well, here's the biggest problem. I call it the existing culture of control. When a kid bullies another kid, and you've got 100 kids standing around watching, why don't they do something? When a kid misbehaves in a classroom, why don't the other kids do something? Why do they always wait for the teacher to correct the situation? And that's what I call the existing culture of control in almost every school in the United States. Now, I found a way to change that. And I saw it in NJROTC classrooms. That's where it's a military classroom where the kids have been given ranks, and the kids control the other kids, and they do it. You walk into one of those classrooms, and everything is going just like clockwork. Now, if they could do that, why couldn't that happen in a regular classroom? And it can. And here's what the research that I conducted on this. I had teachers count how many times they had to stop and correct kids in their classroom for a day. And in some cases, I had them do it for a week. And in many cases, it was 100 times a week they had to stop and correct kids. Or maybe 10 times a day or 20 times a day, depending on the problems. And you go to the kids and you say, hey, guys, I am tired of stopping teaching to correct student misbehaviors. How about helping me out? I tell you what, if you will help me out by controlling your own behavior and your friend's behavior, I'll give you an extra 5 minutes of recess at the elementary level. And you know what? Those kids jump all over it. So when students misbehave, it's now okay for the other kids to correct the kid. And they do it. And if they do it in mean ways, then that becomes student misbehavior. So you correct the kid who's doing it in a mean way. Does this make any sense to you?
Yeah, it makes complete sense.
And it's crazy, but in the middle and upper grades, I did it on a weekly basis. And I had them count the number of redirects or misbehaviors that they had to correct for a week. And if they got under the number for a week, they got a reward of some kind, and I let them choose their own reward. In some cases, it was the last 20 minutes on Friday. You just got to hang out in the classroom, play board games, or it was a pizza party or an ice cream party. They had to pick, the kids picked their reward, and if they got under the benchmark, they got the reward. And when you make it okay for kids to correct each other, they will do it. As a teacher, and I was a high school teacher, I would come in some days not feeling very good, and I would say to the kids, hey guys, I don't feel very good today. How about helping me out? And don't you know, they just did it like troopers. And I thought to myself, in this book, Create a School Where Kids Like to Go to School, they like to know that they can be responsible with their own behavior and by helping the teacher, and they do it. So that is a big way to change school culture and climate. Now here's the third factor for low test scores. Every person has 5 basic needs. When you've got 5, I've got 5. Every kid and every teacher has the same 5, and here they are. Most people want to survive, 99.9%, and then you've got those few that commit suicide, okay? So survival, and I put into that anxiety. Kids who go to school anxious or stressed because there's a bully or because they don't know how they're going to be treated that day, that is a big factor. That need is not being met. And then number 2 is moments of happiness. A lot of kids come to school and they aren't happy. They don't have a good home environment. They're not happy there. They come to school, and moments of happiness aren't there in school either because it's not a happy environment. So that need is not being met. And here's a big one, control. And you just ask yourself, Lynn, what's it like when you feel you've lost complete control versus when you are in good control? Both ends of the spectrum, right?
Yes. I had lost complete control of my teaching environment. That was from 2006 to 2009. I started with 2007. And that didn't feel very good to me. So I can only imagine when the kids lose complete control of their behavior.
So when you lose control, it's an awful feeling, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh.
Well, kids come to school every day, from 12th grade on down to basically the 4th, and they have no control. In the lower grades, they have more control because teachers will give it to them, but because they're not afraid to lose it. But the more you go up, the tighter the control becomes. The rules are enforced. They're told what to study. They're told where to sit. They have no control when they come to the school. So they are in a completely controlled environment. And in my book, I cite several sources that say most schools are like a prison, less democratic than most prisons, because kids are so highly controlled. And the crazy thing is, you have to have a highly controlled environment for the kids' safety. But you have to give control to the kids without giving it up. Now, how do you do that? And chapter 2 in book number 1 describes many techniques on how to do that, and I'll give you one of them. When I was a superintendent, I went to the teachers on the first day in my position, and I gave every teacher in the meeting 3 3x5 cards, and I said to them, I want you to tell me what you expect of me as your superintendent. And they looked at me like I was crazy. You want us to tell you what yeah, I want to know what you expect. And I got these cards, and I sorted them into common piles and paraphrased what was in each pile. And I went back to them at the next teacher's meeting, and I told them, this is what you expect, and I'm going to try to meet your expectations. And if there's an expectation you can't meet, you tell them why you can't. And then I said, now I want you to go to your classrooms, and I want you to ask your kids.
The host has joined the conference.
What was that?
I don't know what keeps happening with technology, but we're going to make this a 3-part episode. I'm sorry, but you need to clue me in as to, you said, when kids lose control or you lose control, it's an awful feeling.
Yeah, and you have to give the kids control without giving it up. And you've got to give teachers control without giving it up. Do I need to go back over that?
I'm just going to hit the record button, and so you can.
Well, when I was a superintendent, I went